Well, alright, somebody said they couldn't get this game to run, so I figured I would grab the LCD model first and just see what's what. I don't have no compatibility on. I just re-downloaded it, started recording, and now we're hitting play. Now, I don't know how far I got. I'm assuming probably this screen is where he was messing up, because later on I tried on the OLED and tried to fiddle around a little bit and realized, oh, okay, there we go. We're having some issues now. At first I thought, oh, it's maybe he just thinks it's broken because it takes forever to load. Well, not even forever, but a little while. But as you saw, it kind of like stutters, and then all of a sudden it just starts like really cruising. But it is on this screen, but it gets to a point where instead of lagging and moving on, it just goes, nope, error at loading, and then it tells you to quit. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Because on the OLED, that's pretty much what happened once I stopped using the default settings, which I think was something like Runtime Scout. I'll show you the solution once we get there. But for now, I pretty much just wanted to hop into the game real quick. Yeah, quick loading is not exactly the Steam Deck's forte. You have to have patience with this thing, that is for sure. Truth be told, I should have just edited this out, but I wanted to do everything from the get-to-go, so nobody thought I was pulling any fast ones. So let's go to the city real quick. Drive around real quick just to make sure it doesn't like insta crash or something lame. Oh, well, that was awesome. I'm just going to turn around and crash right into the spot I was just parked at. That'd be an interesting tow truck call. Wait, how the hell did you manage to do that? Oh, I don't know. Being absolutely 100% dumb. That's about all you can say. But yeah, it doesn't seem to crash or anything, so that's where I was like, okay, well, let's go grab the OLED. Maybe it's the one that's having the issues. All right, now let's try with the OLED, and we're going to go from the very get-go. We're going to install it, and we'll just see what it does. I think I try it just like I did on the OLED or the LCD, and I just go and run it, and then after that, we back out and try changing it to other stuff, and that's where I'm like, oh, now it doesn't want to run so well anymore. And luckily, SteamOS seems to just pick whatever it's running at by default, I think, when you go and click on compatibility mode, which told me something about a Runtime Scout, and that's what you need to fix it. So I think mine was just running that by default. I'm assuming this person's is just not, or they tried to run it with GE or something right off the get-go, which is usually people's go-to. Me, I usually just run the thing, play, and see if it runs. If it does, cool. If not, all right. So as you can see, we don't have any compatibility on, again, just like on the LCD. So let's hop on in. All right, there we go. Now this is the trouble spot. Both my LCD and OLED, as long as I left it alone, just got right in. So I was sitting here like, what the hell? I wonder what's going on. That's when I had the idea, well, let's start changing the different proton layers and see if maybe he's just running something else. And there we go. After a little while, it finally chugs for a second and starts actually loading. It always made me think it was going to crash here, even when I did the videos the first time. And then if I remember correctly, it kind of gets hung up at 98% too for a little bit. Both 9 and 98. Go figure. Making the loading bar for me, as far as I'm concerned, kind of pointless. If you're going to get hung up and then just be like, all right, I'm going to zoom all the way up to like almost 100% and then just kind of chill there. It's kind of like an old Omnich the way Windows 95 and 98 PCs used to work. Sometimes you'd install something, it would like lock the whole system up, and you'd think, oh, fuck, it broke. But then I'd just wait, and then, hey, it'd be okay. All right, we'll hit confirm. And seems like this one lets me in too. We'll go do the same thing, drive around for just a quick second, just make sure it's not going to crash or do anything goofy, just like we did on the LCD. Take a little quick hit ski. Alright, now let's try to change the compatibility. Now it starts out on that Steam Linux Runtime 1.0 Scout, which is what you need to actually get it to work. But if you're on anything else, it seems like there's problems. And it also seems like it has to re-download the whole game, which I'm not used to. I don't remember things usually having to do the whole game over, just changing Proton. Anyway, I did not make you watch that again. So, figured we would just cut that out, hit play again. It's got to do its little running install script, because it's basically, as far as it's concerned, the first time it's running again, because it had to re-download it for whatever reason. I'm used to them sometimes downloading like a couple hundred megabytes of data or something, but not the whole game. So that's definitely kind of lame. It'll eventually do something here. Like I said earlier, Steam Deck isn't exactly that powerhouse, so loading fast isn't exactly its forte. It can and easy to run games, but anything that makes it think even the slightest bit, it kind of takes a while. You gotta have patience. There's a reason that patience is a virtue saying is a saying, I guess. They must have basically foreseen Steam Decks. Don't get me wrong, I love the Steam Decks, but powerhouse they are not. But I'm wondering if this is kind of what happened to the guy. It gets stuck at 9, and then it kind of stutters and whatnot, and you think, oh, it's going to load like it did before, and then it's like, hell no, I'm not. I'm going to have some crashes. So see, it starts loading again, you think, oh, everything's good, and then it goes, oh, loading error. And I tried a couple times. I was like, oh, maybe it's a fluke. So we backed out, and we tried again. So I thought, okay, screw it. Maybe it's a fluke. Let's just try launching the game again. Maybe it'll work this time. So here we go again. Same screen. And again, it kind of gets hung up for a little while. Pretends like it's going to work. And immediately, I think the exact same percent has the same loading error. So I'm pretty sure this was probably the one they were having. But then I was like, okay, well, let's see if anything works. Let's try just Proton non-GE. Not everybody goes and uses GE, because that does require extra steps. Some people would rather just use the ones that are already there. So I think this is one of the newest. So I thought, hey, we'll try it too. And at least this one I don't believe had to re-download the whole game, which was nice. But when I went back to what I needed to actually get it to work, I did. So it's very interesting. Maybe it has something to do with that Scout thing, and that's the only reason it had to update. Maybe it had nothing to do with GE or any of the other ones at all. Maybe the Scout one is special. But hey, I'll take it if it's the only one that works. See, this one's even worse. It gives you a way worse error. It gives you like a weird box. So we'll just do this live. We're going to go back here, compatibility mode, and we're going to go back to this Linux 1.0 Scout, because I think that's what it was before I even did compatibility mode. So essentially, we're not even running compatibility mode right now. So again, it has to re-download, Which, again, I'm not going to force you to watch the whole thing here. So let's just plop on over till it's done here and hit play. It's so nice to just be able to pause recordings and stuff. That's why I wished I could do that on all the systems, like those shadow play systems and stuff easily. But with those, I just got to keep making 1,000 different pauses and 1,000 different files. And then try to hope I don't lose any of them and none of them get corrupted. It's fun times. But it's all good. I still love doing this. And helping people like this is also fun. Because until I got that message, I was just kind of chilling. Just got done editing videos for the day, just kind of chilling, smoking a bowl, trying to figure out what to do. And I was like, hey, here's something to do. I can help this dude out. Well, dude or chick or whoever. Maybe they don't identify as anything. I don't know. I'm not really into that kind of thing, but I know the world's a-changing. So just because I don't really go into that doesn't mean no one does. And I don't want to piss nobody off. That's what I always say. I always try to make everybody happy. But you can never do that, unfortunately. Yeah, it does take quite a long time to load. I don't know if it's just like a first-time thing. Maybe it wouldn't take so long had I already had it installed and loaded a couple times. But if I remember correctly, I think it still just did. But I don't really play this thing on my Steam Decks very often. I only play like indies and like really easy to run shit on this thing. But yeah, all you got to do is use that runtime Linux runtime Scout 1.0, and it seems like that seems to work. Because here we are again, back into the game. Again, I'll drive around for like a couple seconds here just to show you it's not going to crash again, but it didn't last time. I don't know why it would. But yeah, that's all you got to do. So hopefully that also works for you and it's not just a solution for me. But yeah, again, hopefully that helps. And that's pretty much that.